And now here we go again.
It's time for another episode of those shit-talking guys, full of opinions on games, music, cultures, and other random shit, all while humiliating each other. This is Generation Flip. Don't forget, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. And now, wrapping it up, here's your hosts.
Thanks for tuning in. We're coming at you live from my house to your house. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. This is part 2 of the podcast show. Next week we're going to have a good one. I got my boy Big Brown and my brother, my biological brother, with the blue eyes, of course, with the white hair. My bro Steve from New York.
Yo.
So, how was your guys' weekend? Let's start with Brown. Brown, what you been up to on the weekend, man? It's a long weekend.
I finally had a nice slow weekend. I got to lay back a little bit, watch some of the Olympics. A lot of good events were going on. Katie Ledecky smashed it again. The U.S. team killed it in the gold medals and silver. I think we still have the lead in medals. Exciting match on Sunday. U.S. beat Mexico in Las Vegas for one of the Copas. And went down to the wire. I mean, they went extra minutes. Exciting match. A lot of good things happened over the weekend, man. A lot of good things happened. So it was exciting. Yeah.
You didn't work today. You didn't work this weekend, though, right? You were
No.
enjoying it.
No. Laid low.
I hear you, man. Weekend comes around too short for me, man. It goes and comes. That's it.
Yep. No doubt.
What about you, bro? What you been up to on the weekend? I haven't talked to you in a while.
Man, I've been doing my thing, doing the job thing and doing the paintball thing.
Paintball, that's right.
Yeah, man, I'm big into paintball. My team out here, the New York Savage Bees. We're a big MAGFED team out here. So, yeah, this weekend.
Is it more like speedball or is it like obstacles and stuff like that? Well, is that what you're going through?
Well, yeah, basically, okay. It's speedball with MAGFED guns. That's the concept of the league that we've been promoting. It's actually big out there in Cali. You might have heard of them, the UMFL.
Right.
They're out there really big. They just did Cartel Wars.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one.
Yeah. So so they're it's a real interesting concept because they
usually do that Cartel Wars. I think annually, right? Don't they do that annually?
I think it's annually. I think biannually. But it comes up. Multiple promoters will do it because it's a really good concept. The whole format. And that brings a lot of people out. It's good for the community.
That's like airsoft guns. Is that airsoft or is it actual the CO2 guns?
Actually, no. These is compressed air HPA tanks.
Right.
And these markers are replicas of what the military weapons would look like an AR-15 modified. So, like for example, if you're watching Lone Wolf or Lone Survivor, you would see his rifle.
Right.
And then guys would actually go out and make this rifle. There are actually rifles out there that, replicate the way it looks, but it's actually shooting paintball.
Hey, don't go out in the streets with that motherfucker.
No, hell no, bro. You definitely want to do that, man. Don't want to do that.
Fuck no, man. I remember one time I went to, I took, it was the kids were small. I took them down to SC Village is what they have out here. And it's somewhere in Chino Hill or Chino, like the farm part. I think you went. You went with me one time.
You and I both went there. That was my introduction to paintball, ladies and gentlemen.
So I got you into it, huh?
Yeah, after he shot me in the mouth, remember? Through the mask.
I remember that. Yo, Brown, I stuck him one, dude, really right in the fucking face, dude. It was so fucking hilarious.
Brown, let me tell you the story of how it happened. So he says, I've never played paintball a day in my life until this day. He says, yo, bro, you want to go out with me to go play paintball? I said, sure, why not? So we're driving down the mountain, these hills in Chino, and I'm like, oh my God, it just smells like cow manure. I'm like, my brother's gonna kill me for all the years of torture. I'm like, this is it. I'm gonna die. He's gonna leave me here, and that's it. Because we were in the middle of nowhere, and we finally pull into the paintball field, and I'm like, oh, dude, I never played this. He says, don't worry about it. It's fun. It's cool. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll give it a shot. So the first game, he says, here, grab this gun, go on to the other side of the field, and I'm gonna count to 3, and you're gonna come running, and we're gonna try to shoot each other. I said, okay, fine. I've never played this a day in my life, so I have no idea what the fuck is about to happen. I said, okay, no problem, I got you. So I go to the other end of the field, all humble and gullible. I'm feeling great because I'm the older brother. I should know better, right? Nope, I don't. He goes 1, 2, 3, and I'm standing there like a moron. Like, okay, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna run to you? Are you gonna run to me? Are we gonna walk? And he's shooting at me, and he's hitting me, bing, 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 and I'm doing this like Michael Jackson and Weird Al Yankovic. That's at the same time trying to avoid these balls. And I'm like, yo, what the hell are you doing? He's like, this is the game. This is paintball. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Well, stop shooting me. So I get the concept, and I start running. Now I'm blocking. Okay, game over. He beat the crap out of me. I was all bruised up. But I said, listen, I think I have a problem with my gun. I don't think it was firing. He goes, yeah, it was. I go, no, it wasn't. He goes, yeah, it was. He grabs the gun. It was now I know what the kind of gun it was. It was a Spider.
Right.
He grabs the gun. He points it at me. And he goes, see? Pop. Right through the mask.
Dude, so close range. It was ridiculous, bro.
Right through the mask, into the chin. I was like, oh, shit. We get off the field. I took off the mask. I got a nice little bruise here right here. The funny part about it was I had to go back to New York. Immediately afterwards. I think it was like a day or so later. And I had to go on the airplane, and I'm flying back home, and the stewardess looks at me and she goes, sir, whoever gave you that hickey, I'd walk away from them right now. Just like that. And I was like, oh my God, this is...
Oh, shit.
I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it.
Yo, man, I'm going to tell you right now, Brown, my brother, back in the days, he was something else, bro. He was something else. This was my revenge at him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I had to do this. This was my moment of revenge. You know what I'm saying? So I did what I had to do. I took him out in the playing field and I said, hey, let's do this. So I took him. I think it was the speedball.
It was
part, right?
Actually. Then I didn't know anything about paintball. Now, it was actually a hyperball field, similar to what they're playing now for the NXL.
Right.
They blow up barricades that are on the paintball field. And then they had the tubes. It was a hyperball field. And it was the coolest thing because the balls would hit. Even though I was trying to dodge my brother from emptying his entire hopper on me, making me dance, but the sound it made was really cool because it would hit you, boom, 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 boom. You would hear it. It was listening to it is like actually kind of cool because it's almost like a drum.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. Well,
you guys have a big event coming up in New Jersey by your area, right? On the 29th.
Yes, sir. Oh my God, Brown, thank you so much. Yes, sir. Yeah. The UMFL out there in California has come to New York. And it's going to be held at Manchester, New Jersey, at Cousins Field.
Right.
And it's an opportunity. It's a MAGFED event. These are hoppers these are guns and markers that just traditional paintball guns use the hopper system. Like a bucket on top. MAGFED gun is a totally different. It's magazine fed. So this is a mag event. And it's open to everybody and everybody who wants to come. And if you don't have a team, don't worry about it. They'll put you on a team, and you can rotate teams until you find your fit.
Oh, nice.
And that's on the 29th of August.
What is it? Is it like you have to pay to get or paid to be on a team? Well, not paid to be on a team, but I guess there's a general mission to be a part of it. And then what? You have like a prize pool at the end, or?
Well, how it is you pay admission, and the admission includes I believe 300 balls of paint, which is like a bag of paint.
It says 500. I'm looking at a flyer. It says 500 round. It says $55 pre-rent, park, event entry, air, and 500 balls.
There you go.
Good deal.
I don't have,
So 55.
But that's a go.
Yeah,
$55. $55 for general.
pre-registration.
That's not that bad.
No.
And then they provide you the paintball, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, you get the balls, and then of course you also have balls that you can purchase there. We also have what a lot of guys like to use as first strikes. These are first strike rounds, which are basically projectiles, half of a paintball, but designed to go a little bit further. These are like the hottest thing on the paintball field right now, but they're very hard to come by. We've been very fortunate to be able to obtain some. The field has got some, but it's on a first come first serve basis.
Nice.
But that's these are very limited, to get, and we were very lucky to get some. So they will be. If they don't have any, it is also bring your own, but it also will be all field paint as well.
So it's going to be a combination of Californians against East West Coast.
Yes, sir. You'll have mainly a lot of East Coast teams. You'll have teams that come from all over. I'm hearing they're trying to get the guys over there from the West Coast to come out here for this event, but COVID and the numbers. But later on a future date, we have another event on a future date, so we'll probably get them to come out here by that time.
Right. Well, maybe me and Flip will get out there.
Oh, you guys come out. My brother is more than welcome to come out. Out here, both you guys, and we'll definitely take you out on the field. And believe me, it's a different type of paintball all in all. It really is.
I bet. I was kind of chatting.
It's fun. It's fun.
It is.
You play Call of Duty.
Well, yeah, it's Call of Duty, but in real life, you have grenades that are frag grenades that are pyro grenades, and when you pull the pin, it's like a frag. You throw it, it explodes. But when it explodes, no shrapnel other than paint that comes out, powder paint.
Wow!
And it coats you, but it's really loud. You have the feel of being in war. Guys have claymores. Guys have RC bombs, just like you see in Call of Duty. Drones. They utilize drones with payloads that drop paintball grenades. It's really intense. The guys get into it.
Nice.
And they have they have their gear too, like their jerseys with their logos on it and all that too, right? They don't go out like.
Well, you have two guys. Some guys wear the BDUs or multi-cam pants with their team jersey. Other guys just go completely dressed as a soldier. They go completely from head to toe. I'm one of the guys. I'll wear my night vision when we have night games. I have thermal vision, white phosphorus. We go to we bring Call of Duty to life, but in the form of paintball.
Right.
And it is just so much fun. It is really.
What's the weirdest or stupidest shit that you've seen on the field that people be doing?
Actually, the funniest shit is this about a month ago or a couple weeks ago at Ion. Ion Skirmish is probably one of the biggest events on the East Coast that goes on. Anyway, in Pennsylvania, I couldn't make it. My team made it. My team went out there. They were part of the command staff or the support staff for the event. For the generals on the event. So they break it down, and you have the Germans and the Allies, and it's a really great scenario paintball game. But in that event, there are pictures all over the Facebook with him, and they call him Goldenrod.
Goldenrod.
Can you pretty much imagine?
What's that? A penis that's golden, or what the fuck?
I don't know. I didn't make it to the event, but I seen pictures of it, and it looks like he's in a jockstrap with underwear with the dildo that's painted gold. It was the funniest shit I have ever seen. My,
Oh God.
I could not believe it. That for me was it. I mean, I wasn't there in person, but I see pictures all the time. I'm on a lot of groups, and I'm very active in in my community out here. And dude, that was it.
That's
That was it.
hilarious.
And there's a picture of him, and he's standing on, I think, a tree with
Like
a flag, like kind of like
that's
victor.
that's amazing. I'm gonna try to look up that picture and I'll try to post it up on the screen.
Yeah,
I
I'll
have a
send it.
chance to edit it.
I think I have it. I think I have it on the pictures from the event. I saw it on the pictures of the event. I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it to you. It is absolutely amazing, bro. That's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
So you guys got that event coming up. Or that's the same event. You guys got that one or a different event coming up?
We got a different one after that one. We're looking at October 9th. That's in Liberty Paintball in Patterson, New York, and that one's actually going to be kind of cool because we working with getting the Nassau County, getting the local police departments involved, Nassau County involved, first responders involved. That one's a good one, a true one that's kind of good. It rings to the heart because these guys have been out there taking all kinds of beating and the good guys and the bad guys, but there are a lot of good guys out there, and this is a way of to them.
Now you don't get much backlash, and I'm thinking outside the box, but you don't get much backlash where people think, well, you're just promoting people to go crazy, to go on the streets. Do you guys ever hear anything like that or no? This is something new to me. I'm just asking a question.
No. That's a good question, and I'm gonna tell you no.
Good.
There are some people that come out and say that you're promoting violence. There are some people that are saying that you're promoting gun violence. There are some people that you're always going to have that person that's going to have the contrary to what you might think. And the only answer I can give them is it's paintball. They're in a controlled environment. No one is getting hurt. It's not promoting violence.
Right.
It's allowing an outlet so that people, kids, when they're actually playing this, have an outlet to go and have fun without fear of anything. They're out there having fun.
Yeah, and the only reason why I said that was because you remember what was that game, Grand Theft Auto? Remember they were trying to they were trying to blame Grand Theft Auto for people shooting and robbing and I don't know. That's the only reason why I see. I'm not in that arena, like the paintball arena, or in that circle where everybody does it. So I always thought, I go, man, I wonder if people think that, But like you said, it's a release. It's something that's not going to hurt anybody. It's just something that people like to do to get out and relax.
At the end of the day, we have, my team has Pee-wee. My son is actually a member of the team. My captain's son is a member of the team. We have Pee-wees and it's not really promoting violence. And when you see the way the teams function, all the teams, we all function as a family. That's actually what makes it really interesting. People see it and they probably think that, but when you're actually at one of the events or one of the practices or mingling with one of the teams and you see the way we all operate, we barbecue together, we talk together, we talk shit together.
Right.
We're around the kids, we're one way. When the kids are away, we're a different way. There's always a level of respect, and then the other thing is, we all tell the kids the same thing. They know the difference between real and fake, but they all know the rules that these guns, these are not even guns. These markers are only to be used here at the paintball field, no place else. And
right.
And the responsibility basically has to start somewhere.
Right.
There has to be some kind of showing because let's be real, we're having a lot of problems now because parents aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing as far as instilling that sense of responsibility and values. And that's my opinion. That's just.
I agree. That and community, your community needs to get involved too. People have to get involved.
Yeah, I agree too. I definitely agree on that. I mean, you got kids playing video games, going out there like Brown said. They just on video games. thinking that it's a game. They go out there and steal a car and drive a car around.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto. I mean, this way you're at least teaching them, hey, this is a rec thing. You go out there and you teach them responsibility, uh, and also have fun with the kids. It's fun. I had fun. I took Jason Justin. They had. I seen a lot of kids out there when we did it.
You
Yeah.
know, my son goes out there. I took my son out, and now my Gabriel, he's on the autism spectrum. So immediately my fear was, oh my God, this is going to be a bad thing. The noise from it, because it does make a noise. It's almost like a clacking. I remember back in the day we used to have the cabangas.
Right.
Mhm.
The knockers.
You know how when the cabangas hit that
Right.
big noise? Well, that's what it sounds like, a paintball marker. So you have that, but then to multiply that by 100 because you have other people there around the entire field. And then it's a new environment, and he's meeting my team for the first time. So it's a recipe for disaster. I'm like, oh my God, this is not going to be good. We're going to have to leave early. I was really preparing for an attack. And we came out, and my first thing my son Gabriel said was, wow, Dad, this is cool. And I look at him like, oh shit, we're doing good here. We get to the team, and I tell the team, listen, we all call each other brothers. Dion is the grandpa of our team, and we call him D or Glitch. And so I said, yo, D, listen, Gabriel, he looked at me, he said, Steve, I got him, don't worry. He's like, hey, little man, how are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And Gabriel took to the paintball community, took to the paintball team like glue.
Good.
Took to the game. The noise didn't bother him. The new environment didn't bother him. And each member of the team and various other teams that were there all made him. And that's what it's about in the community, is to bring you together. And that's what they do. That's what they do.
That's good. Well, Brown owns you own a couple of guns, actual guns, right? Or no?
Yeah, I got a few.
He's got a few. A few. That dude's like Rambo, you know what I mean? He's got fucking behind those fucking walls, he's got some shit hanging. That.
A few, and I think I've always had an interest in the military. My dad retired from the military. And I always thought, I'm going to go to the military, man. And my dad's all, nope. I said, come on, man. I want to go. He's all, it's not for you. He knew me better than I knew me, which I realize that now. And never panned out. But then my kids grew up. And my dad said, well, the boys, if they really want to go to the military, you need to, sit down and talk with people. And long story short, my youngest son got into West Point. Went there, completed that, got out, 82nd Airborne Field Artillery, loved it. He did his 5 years, got out, started a career, he's doing fantastic. But I've always had that fascination with the guns and the military. And my son feeds me all kinds of pictures and guns. And I shouldn't say feed me, but tells me about them. And then I become more of an advocate of buying them. So I try to get one of everything that created my interest. So from an AR-15 to a 308 precision rifle Ruger, to a CZ Evo 3, which is a 9mm assault rifle, to handguns, 9mm, 357, 308, 19. He just gave me a 1911, a beautiful 1911 engraved with the West Point, 45 caliber.
But you guys, you have this stuff. The guns, obviously, they're probably they're locked up somewhere.
Yeah, in a large safe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, here with me. Yeah, but it's funny because when you look at some of the paintball guns, I was scrolling through my CZ Evo 3, which is a 9mm assault rifle, they look similar. They look really similar.
I have it in my hair. I have it in my car right now, locked up because I'm getting ready for an event soon. I have what they call a TPM4, And if you look at it, it's identical to the Glock 19, down to the function of the slide, down to the loading of the magazine, down to the safety, down everything, down to the breech, identical, down to the weight, give or take maybe about 5 to 6 ounces off of the weight. Other than that, and you're looking at it, and you would swear it's a real gun.
Yeah. Yeah. And the real guns,
A
you know, you
rifle,
look at them.
a 50 caliber rifle, which is actually a T15 paintball marker, but it's basically an AR-15 body converted into a 50 caliber Barrett rifle. Looking at it, you would assume that it is a rifle. You would assume that it's a 50 caliber.
You know, that's the thing that people get nervous about for kids. You know, gun safety is number one, right? But if a kid's walking out with a paint gun, I'm going to assume it's a real one, right? I'm going to assume it's real.
Imagine what the cops think. You know what I mean?
And that's why these kids are getting shot. Maybe I step back. I shouldn't say that. But I think these kids are, you know, when they have a gun, cops don't know what they have now. Because, you know, they've got ghost guns, untraceable guns. They got handguns that'll shoot 30 rounds, full automatic now. I mean, you're right. Everything. So to be a cop and to understand, I do to a point, but I think I'm more of an advocate to shoot them in the legs, drop them. Don't shoot them in the. These guys are shooting them in the chest. They're killing these kids. They're shooting them in the back.
A lot of them are trained to shoot to kill.
Exactly.
Well, what do they do? I'm pretty sure Norwegian, I think it is. They don't shoot to kill. They carry what, pepper spray or some shit, you know, and toss them with the fucking Europe.
Yeah,
hit them with the fucking
London, New Zealand. There are a lot of countries that
they got the rubber balls, right? The rubber bullets.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you got to carry your regular gun. That's fine and everything in case something really goes down. But I mean, for a situation that you can put them down with the taser, and if you can't put them down with the taser, then you have a backup a beanbag or some shit, you know, to shoot them with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes that doesn't work, man. They're control YouTube and Facebook and.
Well, yeah, you guys got these guys on drugs and whatever these kids do nowadays. Fucking paint or whatever, and they get all crazy. But, I mean, I'm sure it's going to hurt them. I'm sure it's going to hurt.
The bottom line with me, this is my belief that gun responsibility and gun ownership is paramount when you own a gun, and having children that have access to your weapons is never a good idea. You know, they somehow figure a way to get into it, right. But that's where good parenting comes in. And then what we do also with the paintball community, being that the guns are so similar looking, we instill the same responsibility, this and this and this, and we hammer it over and over again. And when the kids come and on and off the field, they're transporting it in the way they're supposed to. Their parents, if their children are carrying it, they transport it in a case. Right. Everything is disassembled. They assemble it on the field. They disassemble. They leave. So they understand the meaning of responsibility, and they know that they could get into trouble and will get into trouble off the field should they ever. And I think that's the problem nowadays, that parents don't instill that responsibility of right and wrong, and letting them know, hey, for every action there's a reaction. If you do something wrong, you're going to pay the consequences, and someone else is going to suffer the whatever happens. So they don't do that no more, or if they do, it's not really hammered into their heads, and that's the sense.
Well, for me, I think gun safety is so important, and I think with the NRA out there, and it's one of the amendments that we have to. I think it's the Second Amendment. We have the right to bear arms, and there's for reasons behind it. I'm all for those, but I'm also for California is pretty tight. Everything you do in California, it's a mother. And I mean, I have to listen. If you have a felony, you ain't getting a gun. Forget it. You know, if they make it pretty tough to get anything, but there's a reason for that. I don't believe the government should get involved in taking arms away. I think we have a sole responsibility to educate ourselves on this, but that's the problem. A lot of people just want them and don't educate themselves. You know, right? There's not a system in place to where somebody can buy a gun. You got in Cali, you could buy a gun. You have to fill out a form. You have to submit it. You got to wait 15 days. You have to sit. It sits there in a locker. 15 days, you do a government background check. They check everything on it. And then after everything's checked for 15 days and you're cleared, you're allowed to go back and pick up the gun and take it. But now when you go to pick up your gun, you got to have a case, a lock, you know, you got to have it all sealed up, and then you can take it with you. But you do have to take a little test, a little quiz. It's like a 20-question quiz, which I think is not enough. I think, for someone to take it, and here's the thing, there's nowhere to study. You have to sit there and take it wherever you go buy the gun. So you don't get to study, you just got, they're common sense questions.
Well, what do you feel? I'm sorry to interrupt, but what do you feel about open carrying? I mean, there's some states out there that allow open carry.
Texas, you know, and I don't know, for a while, how do I feel about it? I think it can be intimidating for some people.
Well, dig this, man. I mean, I drive for public transportation out in Cali, and if I ever see somebody with an open carry on a fucking bus, let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna be very skeptical.
Right?
I'm gonna be very jumpy. It's gonna make me feel uncomfortable. But if it was okay to have open carry in the state of California, and you can do that. I mean, I'm reading it right now. It's only at certain populations under 200,000 people. So we're looking at little cities or little towns and suburban areas that you could probably open carry, but not in the city. You know what I mean? Not in the city. But let's just say hypothetically, you know, you do want to carry a gun and jump on a public transportation. I mean, come on, that's scary. That's scary.
Right.
I have to disagree with you. I mean, I agree with you as a part of you being a little apprehensive, but actually I have to go with you against that on that. I have to tell you, no, I'd rather be able to know that if I'm a law-abiding citizen and I've done all the paperwork to get my firearm, I have a right to defend myself and my property, my family and my property.
I'm with you on that.
And statistically speaking, someone is going to, a criminal is going to be less likely to stick you up if he sees, in fact, that you have a gun. They're going to think twice about it. I mean, let's be real. If I'm going to go stick you up, but I see that you have a gun on you, I am less likely to commit a crime anywhere within the area that you're at, first and foremost, because you'll probably be a good Samaritan and shoot me in my ass. Boom. So there's deterrent number one. Number two, you're less likely, if someone is seeing that you have a gun, you're less likely, in my opinion, to have less instances of road rage. Person is on a motorcycle, and that's the biggest culprit of road rage in my case, because they zip right in front of you. If somebody does that, I'm less likely to say, "Hey, he's got a gun." Okay.
Yeah.
And I have road rage. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there you go.
Hey, but I'm with you on that. I have a lot of respect for when I ride my Harley, but I feel it. I see guys that have road rage, and I slow down. I don't go in between the cars. I don't do this shit. I got a big hog. I just cruise, man. I respect everybody. And there's times when people respect me, and I love it. I give them the old peace sign and say thank you. But I see guys on those rice rockets. Man, I see guys riding wheelies in between cars, and you're like, dude, you're on a death wish. What are you doing? You know, it's crazy. So, I think that becomes a part of upbringing and matter of respecting people around you.
Well, let me tell you, there was an incident this happened like maybe a couple of months back. I'm riding with my wife, and I think it was on a weekend. The road was clear, man. The freeway was so opened up. And I'm driving the speed limit, and all of a sudden, this dude came out of from behind on the freeway in this beat up white car. And I remember it almost was like we were running side by side together. That's how, it was like that, right? He looks at me, then he goes up a little further away, and I'm backing off, This is on the freeway. He literally he slowed down everybody. He just halted, and he kind of like waited for me to catch up to him. And my wife's like, "Don't go near him! Don't go near him, dude! Right on the freeway." I'm like, "This guy's got road rage. Sure, I'm not going to even go near this guy. He's probably got a gun or something, Scary moment, But I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, Steve. That I feel that that's if you have a right in your amendment, you have a right to bear arms.
Sure. It's right to, you're absolutely right, and I'm all for that.
Yeah,
but I'm all for it responsibly.
Right.
You see. I mean, if you really want to go back and think about it, back we can use the Wild West as an example. Everybody walked around with weapons. Everybody had their firearm right on their arm, right on their hip.
Yep.
And you had your level of lawlessness. Historically, it's proven.
Right.
But they were also armed, but you didn't see the problems that we're facing now. And then that was because they had responsibilities, they had values, morals, they had the ability to teach their children right from wrong.
Exactly.
And then that somewhere along the line that was lost. And now, which brings us to where we are in today, where we're weeping what we sow, because we've grown now, we've become the adults, and now our kids are growing up in a society where, hey, it's okay to go and say fuck you to a woman. It's okay to raise your hand up to a woman. It's okay to take out this gun and shoot you because you stepped on my sneakers. And the bottom line, there's always going to be guns. You can fight, you can sign these bills, you can put these laws, there's always going to be weapons, there's always going to be guns, but the only way to control that is to to instill and teach responsibility. That's
it's education, right? It's education from the ground up, and that goes for everything. It's a proven fact. When I took administration of justice classes back when I was a young kid, it was a fact. The class that I took, they explained to you how the government focused more. California at the time had the second largest prison population in the world. First was China. California was second. Unbelievable. And California had this mentality of we're just going to build more prisons and lock more people up. Then on the other note, saying we should stop building prisons and learn to educate kids what's wrong and what's right, and not to do these things, and show them the ramifications, and the world would be a much better place. But they didn't do that. They went the opposite. We'll just build prisons.
That I agree with you, and I can tell you it's also here in New York, and there are programs out here in New York that are trying to break that cycle.
Yeah.
I think it was a schools to prison path, I think is what they called it, or walls. I forgot the name of the program. It basically existed where it comes back to that teaching and education, that they were providing less education.
Right.
And allowing the children to slip through the cracks, is thus enabling them to enter the criminal society and then go straight into prison, statistically.
Right.
So I only know this because my fiance is really big on this. She's against it totally, and she's advocating tremendously. And she's working tremendously with programs to help stop that. And that's where it begins. It begins at home, and then when you go to school and they're not doing it in school, you lose these kids. You lose the sense of morals and the values, and they think it's okay to go and shoot you because you stepped on my sneakers.
Right.
Somebody stepped on my sneakers when I was a kid. We fighting.
Right.
Fist to fist.
Getting down with the fist. Right.
Right.
That's it.
Man up. Man the fuck up. That's how it should be.
Right.
Well, I'm looking at this ad right now on the website. And it says there was a test done where they took about 220 children ages from 8 to 12 years old. Uh, they signed them up to play video games, violent video games, whether sword fighting or gunfighting or like GTA. And they said they did an experiment and that they came out of it wanting to pull trigger, like realistically wanting to
Yeah.
do it in reality. And then it says the objective was to test whether children exposed to violent
The time
video games
is 5
increase dangerous behavior
p.m.
in them. That's the
Right.
whole objective, you know. But I disagree, man. Like you said, if they taught responsibility, you know, somehow, some way, this wouldn't happen. This
Right.
wouldn't happen. And especially on the behalf of the part of the parent or the guardian who, if you own a gun, put the damn thing locked away somewhere. You know what I mean? Why are you going to have it underneath the sink where anybody can get reach to it? You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
just that's not. I get it. I mean, I get it. Easy access and whatnot if someone breaks into your home. But hey, you know, man the fuck up, beat the fuck out of him, and then shoot him.
I want to ask you two questions actually. The first, you remember us as kids when we first came, when we moved to California the first time, and did you know at that time in that brown van that we that's a different story for a different day. But the brown van, did you know that Dad had a shotgun?
I knew. I remember Dad having a shotgun. I do remember that because I do remember I think it was, I want to say Arizona or somewhere we went to, and that was the first time I've ever shot. I think it was the shotgun. I think it was the first time I ever shot a gun.
That was actually someplace in Los Angeles, in California, where they had a mountain range. Okay, and I remember.
Right. I remember that vaguely, but I do remember.
But in all that time, I think I only saw Dad's rifle one time, and that was responsible ownership. And he would clean it. He would clean it, and he would care for it, and he would do what he has to do with it.
I do remember that.
We never knew where it was at. Never knew. And we played in the house like crazy.
Yeah.
Played tag. I would lock him in the closet. With all kinds of stuff. I tortured him. All kinds of stuff. But not once ever stumble onto it. And that is by all definition the responsible adult having responsible gun safety, responsible gun safety right there. Not accessible to the children. The second thing I wanted to tell you was, you know how you just mentioned that study, how they put these children to play video games for X amount of hours. That's identical to Project X, when the military took chimpanzees and put them in front of a TV camera and taught them how to fly airplanes or one-way missions with nuclear bombs, just like Project X. And they would expose the monkeys to radiation. However, what I'm trying to say is, when you continuously bombard the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again to a child whose mind is developing, it's going to absorb it, and it's not going to be able to understand, hey, you got to click it off and let's go back into reality. It's going to be stuck into that, I want to do this, and that is where parenting comes in.
Yeah. I remember when I took my kids around, I wanted to take them around my handguns at the time when my kids were young. And I explained to them, if you see this, you don't touch it. If you see something like this, you don't touch it. And then I would take them out to the fields and I would show them what it does. And once they seen what it does, they never would touch that thing. I'd tell them, hey, go grab my gun. They go, I said, that's right. You don't touch that thing.
Guys, I gotta jump off.
Okay.
I do apologize.
No worries.
I have a paintball meeting that they just hit me up.
You got it.
No worries. Hey, thanks for popping in, Steve, my bro from New York, guys. If you're out in the East Coast, like you said, he's got the special event coming up. I'll post that later on. I'll onto the website here on YouTube. Check it out. Steve, again, thanks for coming on, man. We'll talk later.
All right, guys.
Steve, nice talking with you, buddy.
All right, buddy.
All right. We're looking forward to playing with you on the game.
You got it, brother.
All right.
All right. Take care, bro.
Take care.
So, yeah, man, I was looking at this board here, dude. It really overwhelming.
It is.
It's crazy, bro, because it's saying that it's designed uh, to randomize critical clinical trial was set in I guess in a versus unversed laboratory. Yes, so children age of 8 to 12. They also took teenage 50 teenagers
Wow.
did a clinical study. They found out that they would pretty much walk out with, you give them a handgun, they're going to pull the trigger.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty intense and exciting thing to have.
Because each day in the United States, nearly 50 children and teenagers are shot with a firearm, often
Yeah.
as a result of a child finding one loaded and unsecured. You see what I'm saying? If you, as a parent, own a gun, and I'm talking to those that are at home watching this now or even later, you have a gun, lock this shit up. Lock the shit up. Let's take responsibility. Stop,
Yeah.
letting our young kids killing each other for stupid stuff. This is ridiculous. It's preventable. Put your shit away. Lock it up.
And
I don't
educate them on it. Yeah.
educate them. Educate them. Be responsible.
Show them what it can do. No doubt.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
This all started in 2017. I guess it was in the state of Ohio. They did the study.
Yeah.
So
It was after those Columbine shootings and all that stuff.
right.
What's good is we haven't heard anything in a while, which is good because I think the local police are, and I think the parents are notifying police of their kids having any mental issues. I think the good Lord, man, I've only got one. All four of mine are pretty sound, but that don't mean they could change. But that partially it has to do with being a good parent, teaching them. But then sometimes kids are going to turn left and everybody goes right. It's okay. But if you're there to support and educate, and if you start to see something, it is great to notify family, friends, and even law enforcement. If you have a son that's schizophrenia or has these things or has these tentative issues, it's good to let people know. I could just imagine. I would love to have help if I had that. So
I agree. I mean, this thing goes on and on and on.
Oh yeah.
Check it out, guys. The DAMA Network Open. Go to their website. They have the article there. I mean,
Yeah.
it shows. But again, you got to go be responsible, parent. Own up to your shit.
Yeah.
We want to stop having our children, killing each other by finding a gun underneath the sink. Shit like that needs to stop. And another thing is, I don't think so much it's video games putting this influence in the children's head. I mean, I don't think it does. I mean, I had two young kids, and they were playing video games when they were young, and I didn't allow them to play GTA until I felt they were old enough to play GTA, and that was pretty much when they became teenagers. So you don't let your damn 8-year-old kid play GTA. I'm sorry. I play COD, and I get kids, in my party, and I'm telling you, they're 8-10-year-old kids that
Younger.
or younger. Yeah, profanity is bad. I mean, you think come on, be more. And then I'm asking the kid. I think you were on the game with me, I told the kid. I said, "Hey, how old are you, kid?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm 10." I'm like, "You're 10 years old playing this game here. Where's your dad?" And he's like, "Oh, my dad's sitting next to me."
Yeah. Yeah.
My dad's sitting next to me. So I don't know if that's a good thing or if that's a bad thing, but I don't know. It's like, what are you teaching your kid playing this game? I mean, you're playing multiplayer. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's tough. So speaking of games, Brown, we got a couple of games coming out, right?
There's quite a few coming out right now. Looking at, I had no idea how how many games drop?
Right? They drop a lot, don't they? I was
Oh
looking at
my
it
God.
too.
I think it was like 30 games are dropping each month. And
Yeah.
when I was taking a look at it, I was like going, "What the heck is going on?" I was blown away on that on the game release schedule that I was looking at, and I had it up, but I was reviewing it, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" Here's a good example. So the month of September, or let's go back to August. Well, the month of August just started, right? We're here in the month of August. I'm counting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34. You're looking at about 42 games
Oh.
in 1 month. Now, some of them might be like, let me look. You got Grind, you got the Ramp, you got Dungeons Defenders. I was just trying to see if they had like
I think I
Volume
think
4.
I think Madden's also coming out too. Madden,
Madden NFL 22 is coming out on that,
right?
and that's got the cover of Brady and our nemesis. God dang, what is his name from Kansas City quarterback?
It's
Uh,
coming out. Oh, you're
Mahomes.
talking about Mahomes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mahomes. I went to the Super Bowl when we lost to those guys in Miami. My 49ers lost. I was on the fifth row from the field, man, and I witnessed it.
Well,
I
I'm
was
gonna
there.
tell you. I mean, Mahomes. He's a young player. He's not that bad at all, man.
No,
You know,
he's
he's
fantastic. He's
talented.
gonna
He's very talented.
years to come. Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
years.
he kept up with Brady, bro. Kept
He
up with
did.
Brady. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he's
he
he's
definitely
gonna be
did.
he's gonna be a fine young man in his future. He's gonna be
Yeah.
a
Well, and the other one that I'm curious to see, I don't know if I'm going to jump on it, but is that Battlefield 2042? That's coming out also.
is that this month?
I don't. Let me pull it up. It's a live. It's some information on it. But It's this exciting Battlefield. We're watching EA showcase live starting July. Oh, so it already. I don't think it started yet. Hang on. Here we go.
Battle. That's the new. Oh, I think I just saw it.
That's the new one. Battlefield
Right.
2042. 2040. I guess it's out. Oh no. October 22nd it comes out. So that's going
Oh
to be
yeah,
an
here. Battlefield 2042. Yeah.
yeah.
PlayStation 5, Xbox Series. You got them all for all the consoles.
And
That's
PC.
that. And PC. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
October 22nd, guys. Check that out.
That's going to be a cool one to check out to take a look.
That's pretty cool,
Um,
man.
I think
I wonder when the new COD's coming out. I know the new season's dropping pretty soon. We're already
Yeah.
done with season 4 almost. You know, so season
yeah.
5 is about to start, and I think the new COD's supposed to come there. But you know what? I saw it again, Brown in the news. Activision again. Okay, I think they just booted somebody out of their. I think the human resources guy. He got.
Well, that's your ringleader. If it's allowing it to go down, he's the guy you got to go after. You know.
Yeah, Jesse. Forgive me for not pronouncing this right, but Meschuk, like that.
Huh.
Yeah. So he's fired. Bro. He's done. Get the fuck out.
You
know what?
You got to cut the head off the snake somehow, right?
You know what, man? Hey, more power to the women, man. Go get it. Go get that money. And they definitely got it, man. Go get
No
it.
doubt.
They're mistreating you at the workforce. Go get it.
Yeah. I would feel if that was my wife or my daughter, I'd be a little bummed out because you know at this day and age you would think that I don't even want to say stereotype, but you would think that type of horseplay would never even think about happening in a company it's a multi-billion-dollar company. You think, really, you guys think it's okay to do this shit? You know, it's not like it's all over the news. You can't do that.
So for those at home that don't know or watching this later on that don't, haven't kept up with the gaming world, basically Blizzard, which is affiliated with Activision, are having some law issues. And you said, I think last episode you were talking about their station, the lawsuit was coming out of Santa Monica, California.
Right.
Okay, so basically, the women are justifying that it's not a what would you call it? It's not
A frat house, or it's
well,
not a.
no, well, because I saw a lot of YouTubers also saying, "Hey, stop calling these guys frat house or frat boys or frat team because it's not. These are actual grown freaking men
Oh,
who are doing this shit."
yeah. I mean, these are corporate American guys that are out there that are making very good salaries, making a ton of money,
Hmm.
and should carry themselves in a professional manner.
It makes me wonder. It makes me wonder if there will be another Todd coming. Probably another brand or something. I don't know. Maybe someone else probably take over.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, it was Infinity Ward. Is Infinity Ward still a part of that? Because I know Blizzard came in, but I was always curious of whatever happened to Infinity Ward.
I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. I'm not sure. But anyways, you guys check this out on look it up, Google it, whatever you like to do. Link in later on. Affiliation? I don't know. They're gonna drop some money. I'll tell you that much. They're gonna drop some money because these women are being mistreated at the workplace, and that ain't right. That ain't cool, ladies. I'm with you on that.
Yep.
Totally with you. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna call it a night. I also want to let you guys tune in for next episode. I got a good story to talk about. It's very educational for those who haven't experienced this, but with car insurance. Let me tell you, was involved in an accident earlier this month, and I dealt with the both insurance companies, and I'll tell you, it wasn't a pretty thing. It's not and it has to do with teenage kids behind the wheel. All right, so stay tuned to that for the next episode, and thanks for tuning in, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel, of course. Hey, Mr. Brown, I appreciate you coming on again with me. And we'll catch you guys. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.
Deuces.